Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Quantum Leap session for Tuesday, October the 31st, 2017. Happy Halloween, everyone. It is the end of the month, the last trading day of the month, and it is a possible big turnaround Tuesday trading day. My name is Doug McKay. I am the founder of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we get together in the live go-to session to take a look at the market, macro to micro, take a look at the structure of the market, and then we drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and our hypotheses. Our hypotheses are our multiple trade plans. We have two main hypotheses and two alternative hypotheses that we create based on normal auction logic. We do not know what the market's going to do, but we can wait to see what the market participants are doing and then execute the plan that best suits the market instead of trying to develop a plan on the fly. This is a subscription room. If you're interested in checking it out, send me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There's no website, there's no blog. This is not a commercial venture. We do everything live here in the go-to, and then we do live trading and analysis during the course of the trading day. Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. Okay, so taking a look at yesterday, our hypo 1, our main hypothesis, was responsive buying up into the naked VPOC area between the 77 and 80 area, and then we were looking for initiative sellers to step in and rotate us down, and with our main target for hypo 1 being this single down here at the 68 and a quarter. Just turned out beautifully. Came down to the daily ATR downside target, and then found buyers, rotated back up, and then went basically sideways inside of the prior day. So we had an inside day as anticipated, a rotational day with a little bit of a downside bias. Another double distribution day, seems to be seeing a lot of these right now. We have the main LVN here at the 73 area. That's going to be a key area for us today. Of course, our overnight high is up at 73.75, so we've tested that right now, and basically just trying to create some balance in around the 72. So let's take a look at the earnings quickly, because we are in earnings. Everything, again, most of the earnings has been pretty darn good overall. A couple big ones, I believe, are coming up. I don't know if they're tonight, or is it tomorrow? I know we have a couple FANGs. We've got Shopify. That's before the market. After the market. We've got United States Steel. We've got 3D, Frontier, Papa John, but I think it's Wednesday and Thursday that we get the bigger ones, the FANGs. Let me just check tomorrow. We got Groupon tomorrow morning, and then aftermarket, I think we get Facebook. Yeah, we get Facebook and Tesla and QCOM and Oracle and GoPro all tomorrow, and then I think Apple is on Thursday. We got Yelp as well down here. So we've got some big names coming up in terms of earnings that could still lift this market a little bit higher. Taking a look at the economic calendar for the day, we did get the Canadian GDP month over month. Came out, was a miss at minus 0.1 versus expected 0.1%. We had the employment benefits came out at 0.80%. We came out at 0.7% on employment costs, and wages came out at 0.7. We have Red Book coming out in 3 minutes, coming up into the 8:55, and then we have at 9 o'clock we've got the S&P CS HPI Composite, and then at 10 o'clock at 9:45 we've got Chicago PMI, which will be fairly news or market moving. But the big one today will be the CV consumer confidence coming up at 10 o'clock. Dallas Fed revenues at 10:30. Texas services sector 4-week bill auction at 11:30, and then we've got the Bank of Canada Pelosi speaking at 2:30, and that's about an API weekly crude oil stock at 4:30, but that's after the market closes. So still a fair amount of news. It is Tuesday before an FOMC, and there's lots of headline risks out there right now with what's going on with the indictments and with North Korea, with Britain. Just you couldn't create a better perfect storm than what we've got going on right now. Taking a look at the macro to micro, I like to start my day with a simple candlestick chart. Start with the monthly. I use my TOS paper money with live data. We've got great drawing tools using TOS, but I only use TOS for my options. But I do use it for my internals and charting as well. Again, this is the 12th month, and it's not going to change with the last day of the month. I don't think we're going to trade down below 25.17, which is the low of the month. So we're going to end up with our 12th month of one time framing up. I don't know if I've ever seen this before. This is just incredible. We're in this upper slope of the pitchfork in the upper channel, and still no signs of real weakness coming in on the larger time frame. Going to the weekly, we did come down, and we had 2 weeks ago we had the low at 42.50. We came down last week and put that 41.50 in. So we did, violate the one-time framing up that we had on the weekly. And we tested below the daily channel lowest support line, but we're still, in this upward trend. We don't even start to challenge the trend until we get below the 25.38 on the daily. So good slope, good separation. Trend is up on the weekly. Going to the daily, you can see we are losing a little bit of slope and separation. We do have an inside day, but it's not there is no technical gap, and we're holding above the 9 and the 20. We're holding this lower channel line, but the key right now is going to be this 66. I'm actually looking a little bit lower down here at the 56 level, and I'll show you why when we get to the composite and the big structure. Going to the intraday, we came back after making that all-time high at 25.80.75. This is a valid high, and then we rotated down through the 9, tested the 20, and then we bounced, and we've got slope and separation. So even though we do see some weakness, we are seeing some support coming in, and the buyers are stepping in yet again. Going to the 1 hour, you can see that we've got slope and separation to the upside. Trend is up. The 30-minute, same thing, good slope, good separation. Going to the 15-minute, seeing a little less slope and separation, but we're holding above the 9 and the 20. Watch this 72 area. I'm going to be actually using that 73 as my over-under line today. And then going to the 5-minute, you can see that we're in sideways consolidation. A little bit of a cup and handle here. How high is the right rim? 74 versus 73.25. So that's valid. So let's just take a quick look at this and see what it looks like. See if it's valid. There's the right rim, and see if we came back far enough. I'm going to take it from the lower point to the average low. We did come back and validate it. So if we look at a measured move, I always go conservative on the measurement. Go up to this point. Oops. And that gives us a target of 25.75. Just writing this down, 25.75 So, and that will be valid until we get basically below the 72. All right, so let's take a look at the bigger picture structure. Now, I wanted to see, since we gapped up and then took the trip through value, I've added another profile here, a microcomposite, because I wanted to see where the, between the two, the gap up and then the move through value and then the gap up again. I wanted to see where the most traded price is, because the prior when we were up here was at 71.50. Then we were trying to hold value up here at the 77.75, and clearly the seller stepped in here. But what I am seeing is that right now the 68 seems to be the balance point that we're looking for, and then just below that we've got the 65.75, which is now the value area high of this overall balance area that we're in. You can take a look at the balance here as well if you want to use this level. I'm going to be using the 55.75 as my key line in the sand because below that I'm going to be looking for a move back down into the overall balance, which is still down here. From the 5th through to today, the most traded price is still down at 49. So if we get below that 55, I'm looking for that move down to 53 and 49. But right now we're trading and we're coming up against this 75. This 74.75 is the smaller time frame value area high, with the low being down here at the 56. And you can see how these these two coincide with each other. It's still pretty blunt up here, so anything above 75, I'd be looking for them to push up into the 77.75. We do have that measured move cup and handle at 75.25, which is possible resistance here. And then, of course, if we fail to hold the 75 and get below the LVN from the overnight, we could be looking at a move back down to the 68 and balancing. We've got an inside day, and so far the Globex has been an inside day from yesterday, so we'll have to see if that holds. Taking a look at the inventory overnight, inventory is about 80% net long. We opened up, we pushed down into that 66.75. Buyers stepped in and it just pushed us up, and we're continuing to make higher fractal lows and higher fractal highs. I do think that this market, barring any major news, still wants to push up higher. Our weekly ATR is running at 35.5 points. So off of the low of the week at 65.5, our upside weekly ATR target is up at 26.01. So that gives us the possibility of testing the 2600s within this week's average true range. We do have a double distribution overnight at 70.75, so we have to mark this LVN 70.75, and then our VPOC shifted from down here up to this 73 area. Remember, 73 was an area we were trying to hold value actually back right here on the first 3 days that we gapped up out of that balance zone. We tried to hold value up near the 73s, and since it's I think it's the first 2 days. If I draw a profile, I remember that number specifically. I think it's the first 2 days we were here. Can't bring this to the front. That's showing 70, 72, so 72 to 73. So let's take our levels from overnight and start moving them over to our trading chart and talk about our trade levels and our hypotheses. I'm going to be using the LVN here at 73, 70, 75. You know what? I'm going to use the 70, 75 as my over underline because we could chop around the 73 because it is the value area high. So I'm going to shift that down. So right here, this becomes my over underline. And then below that, I'm looking for the 69 and the 68 as a primary target. Basically right there yesterday, because we had that single at 68 and a quarter. And then below that, we've got the value area low at the 67. I'm going to use that fractal low at 66.75. Any break below that, then I'm looking for a target down here at the 63. Our daily average true range is running at 1173. So off of the overnight high so far of 73.75, our downside daily ATR is 25.62. That's right in this cluster here of the naked VPOC and the naked close and the range low from Friday. And then below that is down here at 55. This gets shifted up to 55, 56. I'll put it right at 56. 55, 75, 56 is our key line in the sand. Anything below that, I'm targeting back down towards the microcomposite VPOC at 49. Our downside weekly ATR off of the all-time high at 80.75 is down here at 25.42. I'm sorry, that's off of the weekly high. What is our weekly high? Sorry, just want to confirm this. Yeah, our weekly high is the 80.75. Sorry. Okay, so in terms of the upper levels, obviously the 73 is going to be a trade level, and why not still there? And then above that, the first target is going to be that 75 and a quarter. And then any breakout above yesterday's IB, I'm looking for the 77, 75, and 78, 75 to get hit. Our daily upside ATR target off of the low of overnight of 66.75 is 78.50. So we have range capability, okay, to traverse the whole RTH session from yesterday, and possibly even see, we could see a bullish engulfing or a bearish engulfing day. We don't know yet until it happens. In terms of my hypotheses, the inventory is about, I'd say, 70-80% net long. So I'm looking for some rebalancing. So my hypo 1 or my trade plan 1 today is an open auction. We have the overnight high right here at 73.75. So we're likely to either expand the range high before we get to the RTH, or we're likely to do a make and break. Our overnight low is down at 66.75. And then our VPOC is not likely going to shift. It's at 73. So I'm expecting a wide opening range today. So I'm looking at an open auction in range, possibly just outside of balance. I expect the overnight high to get taken out on the open, but overall, I'm looking for the initial move to come down towards the 69, 68, find responsive buyers down here, and then rotate us back up through, chop at the 73 to 75 area, and then push up into the 78, 77 with possible close back down here at the 73. That is hypo 1. Hypo 2 is an open auction in range, just outside of value, a push up, okay, into the 76, 77, take out that naked VPOC, close the gap, try to push for the all-time highs, get a move to the all-time high, put in a new all-time high, and then rotate back down, coming down, chopping around the 73 and pushing down and closing somewhere around the 68. That is hypo 2. Hypo 3 is an open test drive. We leave the VPOC and the overnight alone, fail to get below the mid and push up into the 77, chop, fight the high here, and then push up through the all-time high and come up and hit this target up here at 87 and get a continuation day and into new all-time highs towards that 26.01, which could be a possibility if we don't get any negative news on the FOMC. And then hypo 4 is another balancing day and basically trading sideways and going sideways and chopping between 73 and 63 and continuing to fill in and create balance around the 68 and basically spending most of the day in the lower destination with maybe a late day probe down into the 61, but ultimately coming up and closing around the 68. And then my alternative is a failure day. It's less likely, but fail to take out the 75s, rotate down into the 68, 66 area, chop here, then fail, push down to the 61s, go sideways, and then get a liquidation break down into the 55s as a turnaround Tuesday and come all the way down towards this microcomposite down here at the 49 and get a large down day. I think it's less likely, but we have to, it's within the realm of possibility, so we have to at least consider it and have stuff to look for. What I'd be looking for on this scenario is a move down quickly and then push down and then breaking the daily below the daily ATR. Then I'm starting to think that the hypo alternative hypo or hypo 5 is in play. Taking a look at gold, I am currently running short on gold again. My overall is still positive longer time frame, but we're still having a hard time getting above that 78 and accepting 78 for the move into the 83. So 72 again is a key area of support. I don't think the 68 is going to hold. And really, if we come down to the 63s, I don't think the 63 is going to hold this time. And that's going to put us into a free fall, and that could possibly take us down to that 48 to 50 level as the next big target below. But 72 is the key we've got to hold right now. Then 68, and then 63. And we don't, if we really want this move to happen soon to the upside, we do not want to see 63 fail. Anything below 63, all bets are off, and that would most likely put us into the 2600s in the ES if this happens. So any rally in the indices is likely to see a bigger move down in gold down to that 1250 area, 1248. Anyway, that's going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.